Welcome to the Kairos Wisdom Keepers podcast, where ancient wisdom meets the modern healer. In our podcast, we share how ancestral soul wisdom and cyclical living support today's healers in activating greater wealth, health, intuition, and spiritual connection.
Hello, welcome to our 6th episode of the Kairos Wisdom Keepers podcast, Amplifying Your Inner Power with the Sun. I'm Janet Raftis.
And I'm Ina Lukas, and today we're going to talk about how to harness the summer sunlight to create more energy, magnetism, and visibility as your authentic self.
So good. So, really, this is about being solar powered, which we just love.
Yes.
This is the season of the sun. The sun is at its peak during this summer solstice cycle. And this is a time where we really get to tap into that energy and really let it fuel us. It's connected to our solar plexus, which is our center of will and how we take action in all areas of our lives. It's really how you power your life, how you move forward. And this energy center within your own body takes its name from the sun because it's got these fiery qualities like confidence, strength, determinational, personal power.
Yeah. I'm so excited about our topic today because this energy of tapping into your solar plexus, tapping into these heightened summer light codes is something that is so needed right now. Us connecting into our visibility, our magnetism, and remembering that the sun sign is your personality in your astrological chart, right? That's what the sun represents in your chart, is this outward personality. And the sun is at its height during this time, during the summer solstice. So it's a time to fully express your personality.
Yeah. It's like giving you permission to be unapologetically you.
Yes.
Like, what is your personality on steroids? How can you heighten it and amplify it during this season and really tap into that space that is so fully authentically you? This is a season that really allows you to explore your personal magnetism, your essence and how it shines in the world, how you can benefit from your own greatest visibility. Like, how can your visibility really lend itself to the impact that you're making in the world? This is, as we said, like very external energy, but when we can actually tap that external inner energy into that truly authentic part of ourselves, that essence of ourselves that knows exactly who she is, exactly who he is, and allow that solar plexus energy to be a part of the motor within you, the part of you that catalyzes that expression into the world, that expression that is so unapologetically you.
Yeah. And so this season lines up. Starting this year on July 23rd, we are moving into the season of Leo, the lion, the fire. The astrological sign. Leos love to be in the limelight. They love to be center of stage. They love outward expression. They love to be fully themselves and be seen by the world as their full self. So Leo, that astrological sign, coincides every year with this peak time of summer light. This is the time of visibility. It's the time of magnetism. It's the time of outwardness. So as we start to recognize how all of these things sync up, right? There's a reason why Leo is in the summer. There's a reason why visibility happens at this time. This is also a really important time to get clear on how you want the world to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. So when everything's amplified, you really want to tap into what is it that I'm amplifying, right? And is this how I want to be seen? Is this how I want to magnetize? Is this what I want to magnetize, right? And so,
What are you magnetizing right now?
yeah, like,
Wanted or unwanted?
right? Like the energy of the cycles works with us no matter what. And so are we doing this through default or are we doing it through conscious co-creation? And so if the sun is shining its light on you and it's amplifying how you're showing up in the world, doesn't it feel good to get really down into the truth of who you are, the essence of who you are, allowing yourself to pull back some of these veils that we've been indoctrinated or programmed into wearing in the world, and really looking at the mask that's underneath? And that's another reason why the sign of Leo is really associated with the inner child. There's a playfulness to that energy that is beyond the programming of adulthood, right? And so there's a piece here that about that playfulness being at our core. Like at our core, most of us still have that and still want to express it, but we've been trained out of it. And we've been trained instead to take on these roles, to take on these masks. And even for those of us who've been doing years and years of healing work, there's usually more, right? And so really getting clear on who am I truly at my core being, and how do I want that aspect of me to show up into the world, and creating greater alignment there in your solar plexus chakra, your heart chakra, allowing that to anchor into you and then amplifying it from that place of this is who I am, right? And allowing it to be this outward flow and expression of energy, imagining it like from your solar plexus, the sun radiating out from you. What are you radiating? That's what we want to get here to, so that you can be your shiniest, brightest, most radiant self.
Yeah. I love that so much. That's why I love diving into these cyclical energies, the seasonal energies, and understanding how the sun is amplifying us. And so right now we're also on the verge of the Lionsgate portal, and all of this coincides with this time of greater visibility of the Earth's closest connection to the central sun, where we are getting so many downloads, so much information from Sirius. We are at a time of mass manifestation. And so it's important to realize that we can use this time right now to see what's being amplified in us, to see what's being magnetized in us, to understand where we're holding back, and seeing this energy, literally bringing it into the light, literally baring our skin, becoming more visible to our authentic selves. And as we do that, moving into the Lionsgate portal, then our manifestational energy and our connection to source, our connection to the divine, becomes even more fine-tuned, even more clearer, even more empowered. So we can see how these cycles are guiding us. They're guiding us throughout the year into, it's like the wind beneath our wings, bringing us into our most awakened, aligned, evolutioned selves.
Yeah, I love that you just brought that piece in, because this is so important about working with the cycles. And the reason why we're such proponents of it is because it fuels you. It's a natural energy that allows everything about that season to be amplified through you as you co-create with it. And so as you, during this summer season, and as we go into the Lionsgate portal, portal, which opens up around July 26th and lasts until about August 12th. During that portal, there is an amplification of abundance energies. It has to do with the positioning of the sun and the Sirius star. You are being showered with abundance codes. In that, if you are showing up as the best version of yourself that you can, if you are as consciously co-creating as you can from that essence of who you truly want to, who you truly are and who you truly want to express into the world, then your abundance is going to interact with that, right? It's going to amplify that. You're going to be co-creating from a very conscious and illuminated space. And the cosmos is giving you this opportunity. You don't have to manipulate the energy. Like we think a lot when we are in manifestation, it's easy to slide into a space of how do I manipulate this energy? And there is a piece here about working with energy and moving it around. There is a manipulation in it. But a lot of times with manifestation, we can get into this place of like needing to grab manifestation by the horns, right? And really like, source, hear me now. And this is like the abundance energy is there. You're being steeped in it during this period. So how can you get that clarity and then work with the energy of your own center of will and your own center of empowerment, strength, confidence to actually manifest from a place of just pure energized truth?
Yeah. I love that. I love that you said that. And it really isn't the clenching like this. When you're working with Mother Nature, when you're working with the cycles, you are not clenching your hands, you're opening them, right? Like you're opening up to the cycles of life, to the cycles of death, to that cyclical process. You're opening up to the sun, whether it's in its peak or in its in its most darkest time. You're opening up to the receiving of the light, to the receiving of the dark, and all of that is part of recharging your battery for abundance. And I do love that that we're talking about this as we're moving into the Lionsgate portal. And our next episode is all about the Lionsgate portal. So stay tuned for that, because this year, the 8-8 portal is actually an 888. August 8th, 2024 is an 888 number. I love that. So we're kind of preparing you. We're going to give you a little exercise here next to drop into your solar plexus, to clearing. And this is all supporting you and leading up to the Lionsgate portal.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. This is the portal for working with abundance and working with the Leonine codes that are so strong at that time. And so how can you start to prime yourself for that? How can you get to that space of truly understanding what wants to be birthed through you, and not just birthed through you? Because as we mentioned in our last couple of episodes, this is a time of pregnancy, right? So it's not about just what you're birthing through you, but it's like birthing through you in that space of also receiving the exchange for it. Yeah. Right? So there's a piece here in that abundance. Now, the exchange could be monetary, but it could be a time exchange. It could be a cooking exchange. It could be, right? There's so many ways you can exchange energy. But in this portal, there is the emphasis on what is that exchange going to be? And is it a value exchange? Does it hold value for you? Is it something that is going to fuel you? So what you give out is hopefully coming then from this really resourced, alive, vibrant Leonine space. And then what you're receiving for that is equally alive for you, of equal value, right? Where you feel nourished by what's coming in. And so this is a really juicy portal for manifesting desire, right? Like, how can my desire free itself into the world? And how can I receive another's desire back into me? The pouring in and the pouring out, that breath like quality of manifesting.
I love that you said that so much, because when you are your most authentic self, you are the most valuable. Think about it. When you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to hide who you are and put masks on and people please and cower down, like that's it's like you're diminishing your own soul value. You're diminishing your own higher purpose. You're diminishing your own heart, your love, your personality, your juiciness. You're diminishing your own medicine. And so when you allow yourself to fully be your authentic, playful, vibrant, radiant, gorgeous self, you bring value into the world. And, so what Janet was just saying, it's, think about people around you all being their authentic selves. Think how good it feels when you're around people that are so deeply themselves. It unlocks you. It's an act of liberation. And that in itself is currency. It gives so much value to be your true authentic self in the world. And this peak season is the time to really to play with this and allow yourself to get visible and out there.
Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. You have you as exactly the you that you are. There is no other you ever. There never has been. There never will be. You are such an important and valuable energy, commodity, experience, manifestation of the goddess. You are all of those things, and you have so much to give. And that is a part of why this season is so important, is because on the subconscious level and on the biological level, it is reminding you of this. So you may even notice that you're getting those little nudges from spirit, or the triggers that are showing up are the triggers that are asking you to access your power. They're the triggers that are asking you to access that part of you that is so truly you, the part that you've been so afraid to share. It's nudging you to bring that forward. So the universe and Gaia, they are going to inform you. They are going to bring that stuff into your awareness of like, this is the thing. So when you're triggered, ask, like, why is this trigger showing up for me? What is it about my own sense of power that is asking to be healed here?
Yeah. So we want to give you a little exercise to support you in tuning into your solar plexus. And what does your solar plexus have to say? So you may be noticing recently that maybe there's anxiety coming up in you. Maybe there have been some fears coming up in you, some anxiousness. Maybe you've had butterflies in the belly kind of feelings. And that's all part, if this has been happening to you, that's all part of this time of year where we are being called forth into our power. So our fears, our worries, our anxiousness are being brought into the light. And so we want to support you in supporting your own solar plexus, supporting your own seat of power in this heightened time of solar codes.
Yeah. And as we drop into this exercise, just know that, communication with your body is such a source of wisdom. So we talk about wisdom keepers here, right? That's what this podcast is about. Well, your own body is a fantastic source of wisdom. Your DNA, the cells that make up every aspect of who you are, your blood, your lymph, your energy centers, every bit of it, every little bit of the physical expression of you and the energetic expression, your soul body and your physical body, all of it holds your wisdom codes, right? The wisdom codes of your soul over the course of its entire existence, which is infinite. So that's a lot of freaking knowledge. That is a lot of insight. That is a lot of information. That is,
It also means you're powerful as fuck.
It means you are so freaking powerful. Exactly. So developing this conversation, cultivating this conversation with your body is a hugely empowering way of constantly evolving and being such a powerful co-creator in your evolutionary process. So for this exercise, this is all about cultivating a practice during this time of the year that is supportive of receiving information from your solar plexus.
Yeah. So this is a practice that you can play with, and as always, follow your intuition on this and how your body is guided. But we invite you to start your day in the sunlight and tuning into your solar plexus. So being barefoot, having your feet on the ground, and if it's possible, letting your solar plexus, front and back, be bared to the morning light. Let the sun shine on your sweet, beautiful belly. Let it shine. Let it shine on your belly. Get the sunlight actually on your skin, if possible. And then placing one hand over your solar plexus, placing one hand over your heart, and really holding yourself, holding your power centers, dropping down into your body, connecting into your breath, noticing your breath, and then just noticing the feelings that are present. Noticing any worries, anxiousness, feelings of fear or disempowerment, or maybe there's excitement there, but just being really, really present with the listening of your body, with the listening to specifically your core center of power, your solar plexus.
Yeah. And as you get into that space of really tapping in and noticing what's there, this is when you want to notice the feelings. You want to notice what's present and really opening up the space of dialogue with the solar plexus. What do I most need to know from you right now? What are you wanting to share with me? How can I engage in healing for myself with respect to my power? And as much as possible, come up with a very clear intention for healing or releasing or taking action. Really getting clear information from the solar plexus of what do I need to know and trusting the answer that comes to you, right? Even if it sounds wacky or weird, trust that your body really does know. And if it's hard at first, if you're not accustomed to doing this, just commit to doing it daily and keeping your mind open, letting your higher self know, letting your guides know, letting your body know that you're available for the information. Because that availability is going to cultivate the trust. Because sometimes if we've had a lot of trauma, it might be hard to trust our body. We might not feel comfortable getting the information from our body. So go through this with compassion. Take it slowly if you need to. You don't have to get all of the answers today, right? It may just be that your solar plexus says, come back tomorrow. And that's perfect. Like that may be the perfect next power step for you, is just to show up the next day. try to honor whatever comes through. And then we just want to say too, like, if you live in an apartment or in the midst of a big city and you're like, I can't just walk outside in my sports bra or naked, you can still do this exercise, right? Just hold the intention when you're out there that the light is coming through, that the light is hitting your energy centers, and you're still receiving the light on your skin. So you are still getting it, right? There's a piece here that is really connected to the intentionality of it.
And remembering that you are an alchemical self-healing organism. Your body is always correcting itself. Your body wants the greatest state of health and well-being. You are your own best healer. So part of this process can be, putting skin on skin, having your hands on your skin, even if it's, under your shirt, just feeling that energy of the palms of your hand touching your body, touching your heart, touching your solar plexus, and realizing that you have circuitry that is running through you. And as you tap into the power of the sun, letting the sunlight come into your body, feeling the charge of that sunlight, feeling your feet grounding into the earth, pulling up the energy, the beautiful grounded energy of Mama Gaia herself, like feeling that connection to earth energy coming up, solar energy coming in, and then realizing that your heart is an informational system of wisdom that pumps and pulses and radiates self-healing energy out. So as one hand is on the heart, as the other hand is on the solar plexus, you become a circuit. You become your own battery of supercharging your solar plexus, literally recharging you, charging your battery pack, charging your power. And so in that process, you can start to feel the energy pulsing through you. You can start to feel the sunlight waking up your body. You can go through a healing practice of letting that energy heal all the cells in your body. You can go through an empowerment practice of like turning on the volume of your authentic self, radiating your own magnetism and feeling the power of who you are as a freaking earth being, goddess, human here in physical form that's just like playing with the alchemy of sunlight and earth and one of the earth's beautiful creatures. And you become your own medicine. Use the power of Mother Nature and the power of intention and the power of your own beautiful body to heal yourself, to amplify yourself. And all of that energy creates more currency in the world. It creates more value. This is something to be spread.
Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. And as you're saying currency, it's also creating the currency in your body, right? The currents
Exactly.
in your body.
Yes.
You can then get to overflow into those and exchange with the external currents as well. So powerful.
Yeah.
So what holds us back from this? Because we can talk all day about how awesome it is to be radiant and shiny and out there in the world. And it really is, and also we want to acknowledge that there are some very real fears around being our brightest self. And so many of us experience this, especially those of us who identify as being facilitators of healing or somehow connected to this world, right? And that is the witch wound. Witch wounding is real, and it is a result of two things. One, your soul lineage of potentially having had past lifetimes in which you were persecuted or being afraid of persecution in those past lifetimes, and also along the ancestral lineage, because it is also been passed down through our ancestry. If your lineage experienced witch wounding, the fear has been passed down in your genes. And so what is the witch wounding? Well, witch wounding is the fear of speaking out, the fear of speaking your truth, of being visible, of shining brightly, fear of betrayal, fear of backstabbing, fear of death. Like all of these fears that keep us from actually showing up in the world in the way that we know we want to, that we crave, right? Like we crave to be able to say this certain thing, like, I know about this, I can talk about it. And then you go to do it, and it's like, anything will happen to keep you from doing it. You'll get sidetracked. Somebody will need your attention. Something will need you. All of a sudden, you'll need to clean the house. These things that come up that keep you from, well, I don't have the right platform yet. I don't have the right branding yet. I don't know enough about this. All of those things that come in as a way of keeping you in a place that feels safe.
Yeah. So Janet and I are very committed to all of you shining your light in the world and bringing your unique medicine into the world, because it is so needed. You are needed on the planet right now. And if you have a clench in your belly, a constriction in the throat when you think of speaking your voice publicly, saying what's actually true to you, if bringing your unique gifts and talents into the world, if you get triggered when that stuff comes up, if you get blocked when that stuff comes up, and especially if it almost feels irrational, like like this paralysis, Janet and I created a very, very powerful witch wound healing activation. It's totally free. It is a profound healing of lifetimes of persecution for bringing your voice, your healing, your gifts into the world. As Janet was saying, these lifetimes that we've lived where we were literally burned at the stake, drowned, beheaded, excommunicated, taken down by our communities for being midwives, herbalists, medicine women, shamans, all the things, like bringing natural healing into the world and supporting humanity through natural gifts. So many lifetimes of that. And this witch wound healing activation is so freaking potent in healing all of these lifetimes. You can listen to it multiple times. And we really want to gift this to you, because this time, doing it right now, like if you have fears and anxiousness and worries coming up, this is the time. Do the witch wound healing. And if you've done it before, do it again, because every time there's different layers, there's different lifetimes, there's different stories, different lifetimes and this lifetime. You could have been really shut down for your voice as a child. Your parents could have really shut you down. Your teachers, this is the time of freeing the voice. All of this throat chakra energy. When you clear the throat chakra while connecting to your solar plexus, that's when you become completely badass, right? Because you're turning on your power while you're healing your throat and your voice. And so we just want you to clear this stuff now for all the reasons, and because it's lining you up for beautiful Lionsgate energy too. So,
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Because the throat chakra is really how you take that internal power and project it out into the world, right? It's like, it's the medium through which you proclaim it in the world. And so we would love for you to take advantage of that witch wound healing and activation. And the link is in our show notes.
Yes. And it's free.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Spread it far and wide. Yes. So each week we share cyclical wisdom and practical tools and insights for working with the seasons on this Kairos Wisdom Keepers podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends. Get it out there so more people can be impacted by this information. You can follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, the Kairos Healers Academy. Like and subscribe.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Kairos Wisdom Keepers, where healers walk outside of time.